In the 80s and 90s, it was common ritual for kids to sit down in front of their TVs on Saturday mornings and rot their brains with cartoons, the same way they would rot their teeth out with sugary cereal that was so sweet it could put an Indian elephant into a diabetic coma. Most, if not all, of these cartoons were glorified toy commercials, with a few exceptions being nothing but better hidden toy commercials. Toys weren't the only thing that got cartoon spin-offs though, as it was super common for other media that was consumed by children to get cartoons and vice versa. If you were a kid and your parents had money, they were going to wring you dry any way they could. Out of all of the gems from the analog age, there was one property that had all the things kids wanted. Action, anthropomorphic animals, a catchy theme song. I'm talking about
Bucky O Hare! Let's croak us some toads!
Yeah, that guy. Captain Bucky O Hare was a joint effort between writer Larry Hama, known for writing the G.I. Joe comic series, and comic artist Michael Golden, who was most famous for co-creating Rogue from X-Men. The comic focuses on the titular character Captain Bucky O Hare, a green anthropomorphic rabbit and his crew of misfits, Jenny the cat, Willie the boy, Deadeye the duckapede, and Blinky, as they rebel against the Toads, who are the intergalactic tyrants of the series. Which I never understood because, like, what frog hurt you? The cartoon series was similar, except since it was targeted towards a younger demographic, it fell to the same slapstick and humorous fate of many other Saturday cartoon adaptations.
Oh shit! Get the fuck out of here! What are you doing? Go! Get the fuck out of here, you stupid idiot!
And that's fair. As a kid in the early 90s, Saturday was your day off from school, and all you wanted to do was get a sugar high and watch a bunch of dumb animals say the funny haha words. Because, you know, as a kid, Monday through Friday, you have so many concerns because you have taxes and bills. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop interrupting now. Sadly, the comics and cartoons never garnished much attention. As a kid, I don't even remember anyone ever being a diehard fan or having merch. Everything was always Ninja Turtles, X-Men, or Power Rangers. You never saw anyone dress up like Bucky O Hare or a Bucky O Hare character for Halloween, and you dang sure never saw anyone with a backpack from the franchise, and that's where the real money is. So, why am I talking about it? Why am I filling you in on this dumb thing that's already, 30 plus years old? I'm glad you asked, you stupid idiot. Allow me to introduce you to one of my all-time favorite NES titles, Bucky O Hare. Yeah, that guy. Bucky O Hare was developed and published by Konami and released in North America and Japan in January 1992, and in Europe in the following month. It met with very positive reviews, with critics praising the graphics, gameplay, and music all being well above your average NES title. These are reviews that I personally agree with, as it's one of the best looking, best sounding, and hardest games I've ever played in my life. Growing up, I was a big game rental kid. Every Friday was something to look forward to because my parents loved watching movies, so I knew that meant I would get to choose a game to take home for the weekend. As soon as I sat down and put the game in, the weekend was sealed. Late nights trying to jump every hurdle, waking up feeling fresh-faced, ready to give it my all again the next day. Bucky O Hare was one of the select games that ever made it past the rental phase for me. If I felt like the game was something I could really sink my teeth into, then I'd ask if we can go pick it up from the local electronics store. Bucky O Hare is an action platformer that plays in a very similar way to Mega Man. By that I mean, there's a lot of jumping and a lot of shooting. Jump and shoot. Where have I heard that before?
Should have been called Jump and Shoot Man.
Oh god, please, no. There are two more comparisons to make to Mega Man. One is that you have the illusion of choice by picking one of 4 worlds at any point, but in reality the blue planet is soft locked without unlocking the right character. Which leads to comparison 2. When you complete the planet, you unlock a new character that you can switch on the fly. Kind of like a power-up. Each character has their own abilities. Bucky can change his jump and jump higher. Blinky can do a short hover and shoots in an arc. Deadeye can climb stuff. Jenny can shoot a little controllable blast. I forgot what Willie do. Blinky is probably my favorite to use because he looks like a fat dumb baby when he walks. And I think Jenny used to actually give me nightmares when I was a kid. Each planet has platformer elements that differ from one another. You have one where you float down the river, then have to jump across enemy airships to reach the top. Some have slippery ice that you slip and slide and trip and glide. And you can't have a challenging game without a smidge of lava levels, where you have pillars of lava. Or fire? I don't know. Kinda looks like fire. These are where the challenge of the game come in. This stuff is unforgivably brutal, straight savage mayhem. The river ride is a great example because you're just riding on this log minding your own business when out of nowhere a bunch of fish just start beating the hell out of you. Or this one section where you're riding a glacier while fighting a bunch of jetpack frogs. Also, if you screw up and you get a game over, it's really over. This is one of those games where you have a password continue system, which you only get for beating a planet. That means each planet is done in a straight shot. There's no resting in between and there's no checkpoints. I can't even tell you how many things I've had these codes written down on. There's this one part I really enjoy where you're falling down a waterfall, and as you fall, you have to dodge falling rocks and these gross flowers on the side. When I was a kid, I thought this was it. I thought this was the pinnacle of gaming. Games couldn't look any better or be any cooler than this. And then I grew up and my pet chimp came out. Oh yeah, there's this early part of the airship segment that I was talking about where it looks like the ships are shooting pee out of their wings. But we can't forget the action parts of the game, the boss fights at the end of the levels. Earlier I was complimenting the game for having such clear and cohesive sprite work, but these bosses are where I would say it's the exception because I have no clue what the hell these guys are. What is this disgusting thing? A tumor? Dang. You got some cake, baby. That's so stupid. Cut that. Eventually, after you collect all of your little morons, you get captured by the Toad Empire because I guess it was all a trap or something. Just when you're getting to reunite with your best pals, you're all separated again. And then you gotta fight them to get them back. Now, the real frustration begins here because the final stretch of the game has very few checkpoints or password continues. It has to all be done in single runs. As a child, this felt like what separated the boys from the men. Never did I feel more satisfying victory than getting to the checkpoints. All things considered, I think my favorite aspect of this game is the music. It's honestly the best NES soundtrack that exists. It was composed by Tomoko Sumiyama, a seemingly one-hit wonder as the rest of their video game composition portfolio falls a bit flat. There are a ton of iconic jams in this one, like Green Planet, Red Planet, cutscene tracks, the whole thing is worth checking out. It's a shame too because very few video game cover artists give this game any love, but who knows, maybe one day that'll change. Unfortunately, as my younger self, I was never able to complete the game fully. I wouldn't do that until later on in life with the gift of emulation and save states. Maybe one day I'll come back to the game and try to beat it traditionally. It may even make for a fun live stream. This game never got a sequel, remake, spin-off title, or anything. It's probably stuck in some sort of intellectual property limbo, and if Konami has the rights to it, you might as well kiss it goodbye, as it's probably stuck in a pachinko machine somewhere in a seedy bar in Japan. With the current style Nintendo is doing with its triple title games, where everything looks like toys or clay, I'd love to see this or another Konami property, Mystical Ninja, done in a similar way, but I'm not gonna hold my breath for that. If you ever have a free weekend to check the game out, or feel like looking up a Let's Play of it, I highly suggest it. To wrap this up, I'm going to show some of my favorite Bucky O Hare memes.